All right, high school basketball from Newport News, Virginia, and Warwick High School. It is the Menchville Monarchs versus the Warwick Raiders. And hi again, everybody. Greg Picaveras along with Nate Milton, Tristan Rhymes for the boys' game. And, of course, Menchville, the big story is Ben Moore coming back to Warwick.
Absolutely. It is a homecoming here tonight, Greg. The legend has come home to Warwick.
And, of course, Warwick wants to get off to a good start.
Yeah, they want a good start. They've got this crowd behind them. The atmosphere is here. Can the Monarchs spoil this party? Tristan, my man, what you thinking about tonight's contest?
You know what I'm thinking? I think it's going to be a great game tonight.
Absolutely. And, of course, let the best team win. Of course, for Menchville, their starters are Daryl Barber, Kenneth Turner, Aquan Renault, Daquan Lake, and Shamor Gatling. For Warwick, Devontae Kirk, Ray Rawls. We'll have fun with that name all night. Daniel Rahama, Dominique Carter, and Taj Eason.
This is a classic rivalry, classic matchup. You know, we brought you a great game last time, folks, at Heritage, but this game tonight is going to be the main event. It's a heavyweight atmosphere for a heavyweight fight between two heavyweight teams.
Big crowd on hand tonight. Two classic Newport News teams. So much tradition of these two schools. With Pop Pitts at Menchville, Jim Harvey at Warwick, Ben Moore when he was at Warwick. You see Willie Bell right there, former Woodside great VMI player. Had him on Sports Highlights, even had his brother on Sports Highlights. He's the brand new coach at Warwick. He went to Woodside. He knows how to win. He brings that military-style tradition. For Menchville, definitely different. Ben Moore coaching in a school that he helped put the tradition on with Jim Harvey here at Warwick. He was at Virginia Wesleyan for a while. Battled some health issues, doing very well. Ben Moore coached the great Elton Brown at Warwick. You know, when he was here, Menchville, of course, had great players, as well as David Hagan, David Pope, and Rodney Henderson.
Yes, and this is, like we said, Greg, it's all about that homecoming right now. You know, he stepped away from Warwick, spent a few years as an assistant at Virginia Wesleyan. Now he's back with the men from the Ville, taking on his former team.
Folks, keep your eye on number 11 for Menchville. There's the cheerleaders. Number 11, he's a classic, Daquan Lake. And for Warwick, keep your eye on Ray Rawls, number 5. Here comes Menchville in the purple, gold, and white, going right to left. Coached by Ben Moore. Menchville likes multiple sets on offense. Warwick likes the man. 8-minute quarters here at Warwick High School. Menchville in the purple, Warwick in the white. There he is, number 11, Lake. Lake right there, acting like a river in an ocean right now.
You cannot stop a body of water once it's in motion. Lake doing a great job on the interior, setting that up, got great moves around the basket.
Raiders with the ball, down 2-0. And you get through that initial hype and adrenaline, you can focus on basketball.
Yeah, right now we're seeing both teams coming out a little wired up, a little fired up, but we're going to see who can settle down and show what they're made of. Great job right there by the Raiders.
And I said keep an eye on Ray Rawls, like the great classic Lou Rawls.
Ray Rawls is out there like, you'll never find a jump shot like mine.
That's awesome, Nate. Three-two. Lake connects. Daquan Lake. 4-3 Menchville.
Lake doing a great job coming right back at him. It's that inside-outside matchup. We're going to see who can impose their playing style, who can impose their will on the other team.
No support there. Warwick gets the rebound. Menchville's got to battle the boards a little bit stronger. Now we'll go over the keys. First of all, what are the keys for Menchville?
The keys for Menchville are patience. They've got to be patient with their shot selection, Greg. They can't rush shots right now against the tough Warwick defense.
And for Warwick?
The keys for Warwick are to feed off of this crowd, feed off of that emotion, and play solid defense. Menchville, if you can get in the passing lanes, if you can disrupt the flow of their offense, Menchville will turn the ball over. We'll see if Warwick can cause some turnovers tonight.
Menchville with the ball, leading 4-3. There you see Lake. So we got Lake, Barber, Turner. as well as Gatling and number 21, Aquan Renault, in for Menchville, coached by Ben Moore. Had great coaches. You'll see Willie Bell for Warwick. Jumper is off, but Lake puts it back in. I said keep your eye on Lake. Lake is connecting.
Lake again with 3 consecutive scores. Nice putback and the shot by Lake and the steal by the Monarchs.
Menchville being methodical in the paint. Missing. Warwick with the rebound with 5:25 left of the first quarter. Greg Pickaveris, Nate Milton, Tristan Rhines. We're at Warwick High School in Newport News.
And, of course, some of the keys to the game, folks, we talk about shot selection, attacking the glass, transition, offense and defense, and you got to play your game, not the opponent's game, and it's about intensity for the entire game, folks.
You see Ben Moore there, all about the intensity, great point. Of course, possession, ball control, turnovers, mistakes can cost you, and you need the bench support early. 6-3 Menchville with the ball. A lot of steps there. And they connect. The officials tonight, Mike Powers, Mark Fry, Kelby Saunders. 8-3, Menchville.
Gatling and Lake, a nice little 1-2 punch inside. Again, another great offensive rebound by the Menchville Monarchs.
All right, Fazoli's the Newport News. Delicious pizza, pasta, and subs. Great job by Michelle and the crew. Go by there on Jefferson Avenue, right in Oyster Point. Go there for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Get some food to go as well, and dessert.
And Fazoli's a Newport News tradition, if you will. I remember going to Fazoli's when I was back in Menchville back in the day, and it is a great place to eat, folks. Again, they support us. Why don't you support them? Feed your crew at Fazoli's.
8-3, 4:50 in the first quarter. Turnover by the Raiders. Ben Moore getting on his team early. Definitely different seeing him in purple, gold, and white. Longtime Raider coach, you see Willie Bell there, who played for Woodside, went to VMI. Taking on the tradition that Jim Harvey and Ben Moore built.
And that was a great hire by athletic director Greg Henderson at Menchville, bringing in Coach Moore to follow Coach Katufis.
Yeah, 2 heavyweight coaches, and Katufis made his name at Denby and Heritage. And a dunk by Lake. Lake goes into the river and ocean again.
Great job, the elevation. Ward comes right back with the shot, though.
Nate, I'm going to start calling you the tap dancer of those feet. Little Lou Rawls out here, baby.
There you go. Little Gregory Hines.
Menchville connects right there by Kenneth Turner, KT, the junior. Here come the Raiders. 12-6. Menchville on the road leading. Always tough to win on the road. Packed house environment tonight. Reminds you of the old Jim Harvey Pop Pit rivalries. Eason connecting.
Nice job on that shot right there.
He
did a good job of feeling the contact and just using that to knock down a jumper from mid-range. Nice job by Eason. But they got to do a better job defensively, Greg. They got to keep Lake away from that basket.
Of course, Menchville likes multiple sets, man defense. Jumbled in the middle. Strength for Menchville is the inside, of course, with Lake. Weakness is the turnovers, what Ben Moore says. We go by what the head coaches say first. Jumper is good by number 1, Daryl Barber. You don't need no haircut tonight.
This is the barber shop tonight, folks. Nice job.
That was a great move, too.
Big block by Lake.
Anthony Anderson, right?
I'm telling you.
Jumper off. Good boards there by the Raiders. All right.
Wow.
Menchville's had some great players in David Pope, Rodney Henderson, David Hagan, great coaches in Pop Pitts, Phil Forbes, Greg Henderson, Eric Mays, Dennis Katufis, Ben Moore, of course. As well, leftovers from the last game. Classic players for Nansemond River, Ashton Moore, Ed Drew, Antoine Willie. What are your leftovers from the Nansemond River Heritage
My
game.
leftovers are never give up, because it looked like for so long that they were going to run away with that game. But if you see the determination, defense, and taking good shots, you've always got a chance to get back into the game.
And Nansemond River started off strong, but Heritage ended up winning. Jumper's good.
Another shot by the Monarchs.
And right now it's 18-8. Menchville with a double-digit 10-point lead on the road. Warwick in trouble early. And the give and go is good. 18-10, 2:10 left.
Nice execution by the Raiders on that play, getting the hoop and the harm right now. And Tristan, my man, we've had an interesting start to this game. Lake has just been dominant on the inside for the Monarchs.
That's right. Warwick really needs to start doing some more to just start to take him out of this game. If they can't do that, he might just destroy them offensively.
Lake already has 10 points in the first quarter.
That's right. And it hasn't even been the first 6 minutes yet. 2:10 still left on the first quarter, and we're in for a long one tonight.
Yeah, I think if they want any success in this game, Warwick is going to have to find a way. Maybe they get some beavers out here, Greg, because they got to build a dam around this lake.
Well, the ocean and the river are awaiting Lake. 18-10. Menchville in total control in the very nice purple uniforms. Menchville with the ball. Turnover. And that's exactly what Ben Moore said. Warwick likes the motion offense, man-to-man defense. Strength is the perimeter, weakness is the inside, as you can see for Warwick.
And, Menchville has taken advantage of that weakness. That's how you win games, Greg. You program your strength against your opponent's weakness. We've seen that so far.
18-10 Menchville on defense. They like the man. Surprised more teams don't use Syracuse's zone. That works so well at the college level. Why not try at the high school level?
And I think part of that is, you've got to have the players that can play in that system, that can work that in that zone.
Menchville could definitely do it with their inside play with Lake.
Absolutely. Not every team's got those players like Menchville.
And people are always looking for a great big man. Look at Okafor for Duke. And talk about college ball, Duke, Virginia. Duke finally beat Virginia. But it doesn't matter what you do now. It's always going to be remembered what you do in the postseason.
Right. It's all about March. There you see the great legendary head coach Ben Moore, formerly of the Warwick Raiders, now of the Menchville Monarchs, and just a great career that he's had over his years.
He loves those TV games too. We did the Warwick Menchville game way back in '95 here with him and George Walters, the late George Walters, when he was coaching the Raiders. You talk about classic coaches. Ben Moore's coaching the 80s, 90s, and 21st century. Willie Bell right there.
And that young man has some big shoes to fill.
Menchville up by 8 with 1 minute left in the first quarter. Lake misses. Good support there. Menchville really going strong. Warwick's had some great players too, like Dallas Corey and Anthony Solomon, Kevin Ricks and Elton Brown. Elton Brown and Anthony Solomon, the two best players ever for Warwick.
Yeah, and you talk about being a force inside. Elton Brown was just a beast on the low blocks. Great players.
Both of them went to Virginia. Solomon's now an assistant with Notre Dame in the ACC, which doesn't make sense.
No, it just doesn't even sound right to say that.
They're an independent still in football. The football said not so fast.
I'm telling you, it's all about that money. That's what they're thinking about, Greg.
40 seconds left in the first quarter. Warwick down by 8. They need some momentum. There he is, the one, the only, number 5, Ray Rawls. Sing it up, Ray.
Ray Rawls right there taking it on the inside, and you'll never find an inside jumper like mine.
25 seconds. Shot is good by number 15, Shamor Gatling.
Gatling doing a great job. One of these bigs that Menchville has in abundance. They've got Gatling, of course. They've got Lake on the inside. And Gatling does a great job to can have that body control, go up for the score, and take the contact. And that's why Menchville has the lead right now. They've been dominating on the interior. Tristan, and we talked about the game plan. What does Warwick got to do right now that's kind of stem this tide?
Well, what they really need to do right now is try to neutralize Menchville's inside game. They're really just getting dominated on the inside, and then what they need to do then offensively is just put some more points on the board. They're down by 8 right now.
20-12, 8-point lead for Menchville on the road, 13 seconds left. Again, officials Mark Fry, Kelby Saunders, Mike Powers. Menchville in the purple, Warwick in the white. We're at Warwick High School in Newport News. Showcase basketball presented by Fazoli's and Fazoli's.com. Find them on Twitter. 10 seconds left. Greg Bick on Twitter. N8 Mosaic on Twitter. Rolls. Connects. Woo! Nate, sing it up. That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, it is Menchville with a 5-point lead, 20-15. We'll be back from Warwick High School after these messages.
Ultimate Frisbee is a team sport in which players seek to score points by passing a Frisbee to a teammate over the opposing team's goal line. For more information, contact your local recreation center.
And you can't turn down for nothing out here tonight.
No, turn down for what, Greg? Turn down for what? I'll tell you what, Ray Rawls is certainly not turning down with that great three-pointer at the end of the first quarter.
(20-15). Warwick right now trailing at home. Big packed house tonight. This is high school basketball at its best. Great atmosphere. My dad always talked about the atmosphere. Atmosphere is so important.
Yeah, and you can tell the difference. Both crowds, both sides of the court are going against each other. The fans are into it. School spirit, this is what it's all about, folks. And we're pleased to bring it to you here on NNPSTV.com.
$7:45 left in quarter number 2. 8-minute quarters.
And that first quarter flew by, Greg.
It did. Referees letting them play the game. Menchville in the purple. Shout out to Malcolm Hartwell, one of the telecom students. Yep, Malcolm Hartwell is on the floor. Great kid Malcolm Hartwell is. Love that name, Malcolm. Malcolm in the Middle, remember that?
Malcolm in the Middle was a great show, but tonight it's all about Lake in the Middle for the Monarchs.
What's that show with the alligator in the lake? Lake Placid. Lake Warwick tonight. No alligators in this game. Just Lake. Baseline shot is off. Warwick needs better shots than that. Shot selection is important.
Yeah, shot selection, Greg, of course, ball control. You don't want to have turnovers. You want to limit your mistakes. Time of possession is important. And, of course, your bench support. Those are all factors that can go into winning a ball game.
Move without the ball, crash the boards like Lake is. Inside-outside play, mix it up. Just focus on this game, no distractions. Make it a team effort, which Menchville is.
That's right. And, both of these teams come into tonight's game, with a lot to play for. Menchville coming in at 11-6, Warwick coming in at 8-10. This is a key game for Warwick. And, of course, folks, this is our 24th year of exclusive prep sports on NNPS TV and NNPSTV.com. And don't forget to check out sports highlights on NNPSTV.com.
6:40 left till intermission. 20-15, Menchville. Great classic high school basketball Newport News powers in Menchville and Warwick. Great stuff by Lake Menchville.
Wow, you talk about being a two-way player, guys. Let's take a look at the replay. Warwick going up for the shot, and there you see coming out of nowhere, Lake says, man, come on, you got to come stronger than that, fellas.
Raiders trying to do something.
Very tough to score inside against those Giants for the Monarchs. And again, you know, you got to rotate players. You got to keep them fresh. And there you see Coach Moore. He does that better than anybody out there. And it's about that desire, Greg, for the entire game, 32 minutes. Of course, you want to avoid foul trouble early, and you want to stay in the game. Don't allow yourself to get behind. You know, that's why these free throws are very important for Warwick. They got to stay in this game. Hal's got to knock those down.
Of course, bench support, too, which Menchville is going to. Number 32 in the bowl game, Elijah Murphy. You see right there for the Raiders, number 15, respectively. That's Niles Howe.
Good young Elijah Murphy, he's a player to watch. He's the outside complement to the inside game of Lake. He's one of the better players on the Monarchs.
(20-16), 6:20 left.
Great passing by the Monarchs, just being patient, not forcing anything, and finding the open man, Elijah Murphy, under the basket for his first two shots.
22-16, Menchville, Warwick with the ball in the white uniforms, the missing. Nice boards there by Murphy. Here comes Barber, number 1. Jumper is up, off. Good rebound there by Warwick's, number 2. Daniel Rohama. 5:36 left to intermission.
And that's the one thing Warwick can't afford to do, Greg, is turn the ball over, especially as well as Menchville is playing right now. Warwick's got to keep this thing close.
Sports seen on 1650 AM each Wednesday from noon to 1. And on TuneIn.com, type in WHKT in your search box to listen on your phone or your computer. Become a follower on TuneIn or on YouTube by going to GJBTV.com. Hit the YouTube link. And, of course, Twitter. Nate, take it away.
And, of course, at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at HR Online Mallcom, at Nate Mosaic, at GJBTV, all on Twitter, folks. And we thank you for following. And don't forget, you are watching Prep Basketball on Cox Cable 47 in Newport News, Verizon Fios 17, and NNPSTV.com.
There's Willie Bell, former VMI standout. 24-16, 5:27 left. Menchville playing very well.
That's right. They are playing very well. They're playing very aggressive offensively and defensively. They've really caught Warwick off guard, catching Warwick very dysfunctional.
And not only are they playing aggressive, Tristan, but they're playing smart, too. So when you can mix smarts with aggression, that's a tough combo. And, of course, you know, you got to cover the weak side. You've got to block out. You've got to get off to a good start, which Menchville is doing. And the crowd is a factor. You know, it's the sixth man here for the Warwick Raiders, but Menchville's taking them out of the game, and they've got to move without the ball and stretch the floor. So, you know, Menchville's doing a lot of good things early. We'll see if Warwick can turn the tide.
Get the best analysis right here on NNPS TV.
Nowhere
Turn
else.
the TV down when you're watching college basketball. Just listen to Nate 9.
You get this kind of game nowhere else, folks, but NNPSTV.com.
Warwick with the ball down 25-16 at home. They need to get the crowd back in the game for themselves. Warwick just doesn't have that 1-2 punch of Lake, you know, and Barber at all.
No, you know, Warwick has a talented team, but they're a team, just that. Menchville, on the other hand, they can beat you inside with Lake, and then when they got you all worn down, they got you tenderized like a piece of meat. They're going to go to the outside and just start hitting the daggers from far away. That's the great 1-2 punch that Menchville brings to the table.
25-16. It looks like a volleyball game out there, but good defense by the Raiders. Here come the Raiders. Too much. 4:39 left to intermission. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, Tristan Rhines. High school basketball presented by Fazoli's.
And, of course, folks, you know, you got to have that one-and-done mentality. It's a 12-month season. You got to show up each and every day and have accountability and focus on the task at hand. You got to build momentum and get off to a good start in the first half and in the second half. And, of course, folks, Hampton Roads spells sports, nnpstv.com.
4:20 left. Menchville driving the lane. Missing. Elijah makes it. The one and only Elijah Murphy. Playing like Calvin Murphy.
I'm telling you, it's Murphy's Law out here in the second quarter. Murphy with 7 points off the bench. Great job thus far for the Monarchs.
Jumper, good. Number 10, Jamal Price. How about that? An Elijah and a Price out here tonight. Except 2 different names.
He said the Price was right on that shot.
There's a guy at my radio station who watches The Price is Right all the time. He should be getting a paycheck.
It just isn't the same without Bob Barker.
Menchville in the paint, no. Out of bounds. Monarchs ball. In the game now for the Monarchs. Amir Lee. For Warwick, you see Willie Bell. Great job by our camera crew. Guys in the truck, gals as well. Working great together. Great sportsmanship, great teamwork. Elijah Murphy. God, Menchville could have used him in the football team a lot more this year.
I'm telling you
Menchville's still looking for a football coach as of this broadcast.
You know, and you and I, you know, we've got our own
idea ready to coach a football team
about who would be a great coach for that.
Why don't you and I just apply for the job? We can do the games when we're not doing the Menchville job.
Yeah. I certainly wouldn't make a bad call like Pete Carroll did at the Super Bowl. I'd run the ball if I'm the Menchville head coach.
But at least he's won a Super Bowl. He can say that.
Yeah.
You can't win every year, but that's not the way you want to lose.
No, that is definitely not the way you want to lose.
Here's my thing. If they would have made that pass, they would have been a genius.
Yep.
Because those slant passes do work a lot of times.
Yeah, I think what people are talking about, they're like, you just can't take the ball out of Marshawn Lynch's hands. That give him at least one more shot.
Here's Elijah at the free throw line. The left-hander shoots and misses. Nice rebound there by 21. Aquan Renault. Warwick with the boards in the white. There's a fast break. Here they go in the give and go. Yes. Number 24 for the Raiders. Taj Eason.
Eason doing a great job getting to the basket, breaking that Monarch press and finding a way to score 2 points. Menchville, though, still has the advantage, and a lot of that is because of that inside presence.
Here comes Warwick. Menchville to steal. You gotta watch the dribbling, you gotta watch the turnovers. Sometimes the adrenaline in the crowd can get a team a little unfocused. Ball handling is so important. Menchville up by 6 on the road with 2:20 to intermission. Elijah misses.
Wow.
Both teams aggressive, proactive, all-inclusive basketball. Barber telling the team to calm down. He's the leader. Reminds me a lot of Phil Ford that played for the great Dean Smith in North Carolina. The give and go. It's good. And Menchville will be at the free throw line. Number 21, Aquan Renault.
Renault. Sounds like a car, and he looked like a car driving through the fast lane right there. Nice give and go play by the Monarchs.
If this was blackjack, he'd be winning. Great card game. Here come the Raiders trying to get some momentum, down by 8 at home in the white uniforms. Jumper is off. Follow up, no way. Ball stays with the Raiders. Up by 8. That's what you got to keep fighting. Don't give up.
Yeah, both teams fighting for possession. And you see, we got a packed house here tonight.
Most of the
at
students
Warwick.
tonight.
You can hear it, folks. You can hear the atmosphere. You can hear these fans getting into this game tonight.
There's no library atmosphere here tonight.
Absolutely not.
Jumper's good by number 11. The day I was born, Dominique Carter. Acting like Dominique Wilkins.
Carter.
Welcome back, Carter.
Bringing his team back into it. Now you can start to see the fans getting into this. Warwick's starting to put together some momentum. If he keeps making shots like that, they're going to start calling him President Carter out here. Maybe he's related to Jimmy.
Good old Jimmy Carter. Oh, my goodness. That's not a name I've heard in a long time. Shot is up and it's good.
Wow.
The one and only.
Warwick fighting their way back into this ball game.
Lou Rawls would be proud of Ray Rawls. Although they don't spell the names the same way.
I think so. Like he would be extremely proud of his namesake. But right now, I think what Menchville's got to do, they got to slow things down because this game has gotten extremely close, and Warwick has definitely taken advantage. There you see Coach getting his guys fired up and ready to go.
Fans behind us watch the game on TV with us. 29-26. Warwick trying to narrow the lead. 58 seconds. You can see some of the nerves from these young high school players. Remember, they're just high school kids.
And not only young players, but Warwick's got a young coach, but I like what he's done with this team so far.
Dominique Carter misses. 3-point advantage for Menchville. Warwick's gotten back in the game with the crowd.
Yeah, the crowd is helping get back into the game. They forced Menchville into some uncharacteristic turnovers. And the Monarchs, they've gotten away from what gave them the lead, working it inside and then kicking it out.
Keep an eye on Ben Moore. He gets a workout on the sidelines. Phil Forbes out there as an assistant. The layup is good by Devontae Kirk. Not Captain Kirk out here.
Kirk. Maybe he's Kirk Franklin. He's going to stomp out here tonight.
Maybe Kirk Herbstreit. Murphy missing. Murphy again. And the miss by number 15, Gatling for Menchville. 1 point lead for Menchville.
I'm telling you, Warwick has certainly gotten back into this game. Uncle Mo is sitting down at the table. Warwick's got the momentum right now. Tristan, did you see this turnaround happening?
Oh, yeah, they started to really come around near the beginning of this quarter, and they've drawn within a point now. Warwick definitely has the energy in this crowd right now.
And like you mentioned, Greg, the problem with this is now the crowd is back into it, and Warwick can feed off of that.
29-28, 20 seconds left to intermission. Both teams need to regroup and reset, get a little refocused here, and realize there's still 16 minutes of hard executed basketball ahead of them.
Yeah.
You can't win it in one half.
No, you can't. Basketball is a game of runs anyway. You know, you're gonna go on a run. Your team is gonna go on a run. So it's just a matter of who can withstand it and stick to their game plan. That's what we got to see from the Monarchs or the Raiders in the second half.
30-28. Want to thank Jenny Nuttycombe for all her hospitality here at Warwick High School to go along with the Zolies, as well as Greg Henderson at Menchville, athletic directors. Ben Moore right there. Hard to believe he's coaching Menchville. He put Warwick on the map with Jim Harvey. Harvey also coached Granby, and then Moore replaced Jim Harvey here at Warwick in the 80s when he was going up against Walter Brower, still at Hampton, and even Pop Pitts at Menchville, George Walters at Ferguson, Katufis when he was at Denby, Jerry Ferrier when he was at Lafayette, and then, of course, Revis Conrad was at Kickingham back then. And Bethel, of course, later on had Iverson. So many great players over the years. Menchville's three of their best players were David Pope, Rodney Henderson, and David Hagan, who could shoot off the glass for Pop Pitts. 10 seconds left. Menchville up by 2. Warwick trying to tie it up. Just a few seconds left. Keep an eye on the clock. Will they get the shot off? They do. That's it. Halftime. 30-28 in favor of Menchville, winning by 2 points on the road in a classic 16-minute battle so far. But guess what? We got 16 minutes left. High school basketball presented by Fazoli's. We'll be back after these messages.
Hi, my name is Barbara Smith, and I'm with the Newport News Public Schools Department of Transportation. At the bus stop, students should stand away from the road in an orderly fashion and always be mindful of other people's property. While on the school bus, students should always behave, keeping their hands, heads, and any other objects inside the bus so as not to distract the driver from keeping their eyes on the road. Motorists must stop for a school bus and remain stopped until the bus's lights are off and begins to move again. Here at Transportation, our #1 objective is the safety of the children.
At Newport News. It is Greg Picabaris, Nate Milton, Tristan Rhines right here as the Menchville Monarchs have a 2-point lead over the Raiders. It's a big homecoming back for Ben Moore coming back to Warwick.
Billing and Moore, folks. Ben Moore back here, but the Raiders did a great job taking some early offense from Menchville and finding a way to get back into this game. Great effort by both teams, and we're in for a big finish.
Should be an exciting second half.
That's right. It should be an exciting 16 minutes, Greg.
Absolutely right here. We're at Warwick High School and a great game right here in Newport News as we're talking about two classic teams right here as well when you talk about Menchville and Warwick. So we will start the second half as we commence right now. Thank you very much right there. Great job, guys, with the on-camera segment. Of course, what are the keys here for Menchville here in the second half?
The keys for Menchville in the second half is to go back to doing what worked in the first half, and that's going inside with that interior offense. The keys for Warwick, keep playing hard, keep forcing the Monarchs into making mistakes.
And Warwick right now being very proactive on offense right there by Taj Eason. They got to be proactive.
What did we just say, Greg? Force the Monarchs into some turnovers, and you can use turnovers to turn them into offense. Great job by Eason and the Warwick Raiders on that play. Eason's got 6 points for the game. Excellent job by both teams, and you can see the fire coming out of the locker room. Halftime adjustments were made. Great job early on by Warwick coming out with some defense.
That's right. They're trying to come out with some momentum. They're tying it up already 30-30. This looks like it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Oh, that's the understatement of the year, Tristan. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be all that. It's going to be a bag of chips. It's going to be a barn burner. Whatever cliche you want to throw out there, throw it out there on the court because it's going to be that and more.
One heck of a game.
30-all, 31-30. Menchville holding on to a 1-point lead, but it seems like Menchville's, playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. They need to get back to that strong effort in the first quarter.
Yeah, and Lake had 10 points in the first quarter, only 2 points since. They got to go back to feeding the big man. The big man is hungry. Let him eat.
Warwick with the ball. Underneath, and they miss. Looks like a Ben Moore jinx there.
I'm telling you, great work inside by Menchville, contesting the shot. Now we'll see if they can turn that defense into some offense.
31-30. We'll set the lineup here in just a moment. Menchville leading by 1, coached by Ben Moore. Warwick coached by Willie Bell, former Woodside player. Ben Moore coached at Warwick, Virginia Wesleyan, and Menchville. 2 stints as a Warwick coach. He was once athletic director here as well. Lake is out there for Menchville, as well as number 5, respectively. For the Monarchs. The shot is up and it's good.
Excellent shot from outside. Number 5, who else, Greg? Our man Rawls doing it again. 13 points on the game for Rawls.
$33 all. Ben Moore talking some intensity. That's what this game is all about. All right, telecom right here, Nate. Take it away.
And, of course, if you like what you're seeing, folks, rising 11th graders, if you're interested in TV production, call Telecom for info or to schedule a tour. 591-4687. Again, 757-591-4687. Extension 0 to get in on this, and you can earn college credit. Tristan, you're in the program. I was in the program once upon a time. If anybody's even remotely interested, let them know what you can learn through this program.
That's right. It's definitely a fun program. I get to sit down here with you and Greg. You can do camera. You can be in our truck. It's just a lot of fun.
The cameras, editing, audio, you learn it all, and you learn it from one of the best, Ray Price. And, of course, you got Carl Daniels. Great job by the staff there. So, again, if you're interested, 757-591-4687, extension 0.
We'll get the crew list a little bit later. 35-33 Menchville with 5:50 left in the third quarter. Greg Picaveras, Nate Milton, Tristan Rhines from Warwick High School. Out there for Warwick, Ray Rawls, Devontae Kirk, Dominique Carter, Taj Eason, as well as number 3, Caleb Rawls. Caleb R-O-W-L-E-S, Ray Rawls, R-A-W-L-E-S. Let's don't forget Lou Rawls. Willie Bell right there, very focused. Great crowd on hand tonight, great atmosphere. It's the before and after. It's a 12-month season. Keep in mind the goals, the postseason, working since the fall for this moment. Forget quickly and move on. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And the fans have definitely been into the game.
They have from the start. The Warwick fans as well as the Menchville fans. It's been a fun game, and Eason makes good on his second free throw attempt. Eason's got 8 in the game tonight.
Menchville with the ball going left to right. Tied up. Menchville's let Warwick get back in the game. The intensity, the momentum, the savvy has gone to the Monarchs in the first half and Warwick in the second. There's Lake. They need to get Lake more involved in the game. Here he is. Rolls with the layup. Ray rolls again. We got a Ray out here. We got an Elijah. We got a Price. Goodness gracious. We need an Nate and a Greg out here, too.
I'm telling you, Ray Rawls now leading all
and
scores
Tristan.
with
What's your
15.
nickname again, Tristan?
I don't think we have any Tristans out here.
Blake, of course, Blake.
We got any Blakes out here?
Not that I know of, honestly.
Not that you know of. Excellent job, though, by the Menchville Monarchs. Coming back after that score by the Warwick Raiders. They're now at the free throw line trying to get some 3 points. Gatling with an opportunity. Makes the first one, Tristan. And again, we've seen a great spark right now by the Warwick Raiders, and they're feeding off of that home crowd.
That's right. They really are starting to take control. This crowd really loud, really rambunctious. They're just fueling this attack by Warwick.
All right, number 15 at the free throw line for Menchville, respectively, is Shamor Gatling. He's a junior, got the headband on. Of course, surprise in college basketball, of course, Virginia. NBA, the Hawks. Of course, the Lakers and Knicks have done really bad this year. The Heat, so-so. But the Cavaliers, who wants to play them now?
Yeah, the Cavaliers.
People are criticizing them early, but guess what? They're getting their legs again.
Exactly.
They're playing better, even though, to me, it's not the best chemistry still. But I wouldn't want to play them in the first or second round. If I'm the Wizards, I don't want nothing to do with Cleveland.
No. And you mentioned not only are they getting their legs back, but that trade they made, they got Timothy Mozgov that protects the basket. You got Shumpert, who's a good defender. And then you got J.R. Smith, who can be a little erratic. But when he's on, he can knock him down.
Menchville with the ball. Tied up in the purple. There's Elijah. Great crowd on hand. Everybody in Newport News is here tonight. This is the place to be seen and heard in Newport News at Warwick High School. A house that Jim Harvey and Ben Moore built. Moore replaced Jim Harvey, who then went on to Granby in Norfolk, right there on Granby Street. Big arch rival of Maury. Coach Baker, all the great basketball teams he had at Maury over the years. Jack Baker, longtime Maury coach, who coached against Harvey when he was at Granby. Cheerleaders enjoying the game as well. Great sportsmanship by both these kids. Very proud of the sportsmanship and the conduct of all of our Newport News High School kids. Very clean cut, good atmosphere, good fundamental basketball. Elijah right there making it. Good old Elijah. Number 32, Elijah Murphy.
Nice little 1-2 punch with Murphy and Lake on the inside for the Monarchs.
I need to see Lake get more involved here. It's a 32-minute game.
You wonder if maybe he tired himself out going so hard in that first quarter. And again, folks, Hampton Road Spell Sports, NNPSTV.com, where you can see great plays like that. Tell your friends about us.
Third quarter, 39 all. There's Barber giving Nate a free haircut. Elijah, he's been the big guy in the second half. Number 32, Elijah Murphy, the senior leadership. And the layup is good by Dominique Carter, DC. Not Virginia tonight.
They are going back and forth, taking a punch, giving a punch. This is what it's all about. This is that heavyweight fight we were talking about, guys. And Menchville responds.
44-41 Menchville. Monarchs with the ball. This could be it. The Tony St. Vincent fast break. No. We have not called it yet. That was close, folks. Who's going to get the Tony St. Vincent fast break?
Menchville thought they were going to get a good fast break right there, but unfortunately, it's after 6 o'clock, so the bank is closed, Greg.
But not the ATMs. Here come the Monarchs. They're looking to do the fast break. Metro in the purple. Great players we mentioned like David Pope, Rodney Henderson, David Hagan in the past. They've been around since 1970. Warwick is the oldest school, then Denby, then Menchville, Heritage and Woodside. Jumper is good by number 2. Kenneth Turner.
Silky smooth jumper right there.
And Warwick on the give and go. And the kiss off the glass by number 24, Taj Eason.
Back and forth they go. Taj Eason doing a great job responding to that earlier basket by the Monarchs. This is going down to the wire.
Should be a great fourth quarter.
That's right. Should be a great fourth quarter. These two teams are just going back and forth. It's a 4-point game. Warwick's definitely given Menchville a great contest.
Like you said, Nate, a heavyweight bout.
I'm telling
Who
you.
needs UFC? We like boxing here. 47-43.
We just got to put a cage around the court and it'd be just like the UFC.
Ben Moore bringing in a lot of subs here.
And Ben Moore is like E.F. Hutton, Greg. When he speaks, people listen, and I'm sure the referees are well aware of Coach Moore's concerns.
1:16 left in the third quarter.
Refreshments in the hallway. Warwick fans, we return back to action on Friday night.
47-43. And the guests, the Menchville, not being a great guest here post-holiday season here at Warwick.
This is, this is very exciting. We always like to come out, do the games, but there is nothing that compares to a classic rivalry in the winter. You got Coach Moore over there on the opposite sideline from the sideline he was at for so many years here at Warwick. And it's an exciting matchup. The fans are into it. I know you folks at home are watching it, and you're seeing it here live on NNPSTV.com from Boston to Boise, Fargo to Fresno, New York to Newfoundland, Amsterdam to Oslo, and all points in between.
And Ben Moore is trying to come back to Warwick, and they're saying, I don't think so.
They said once you can't go home again, Greg. That's the old saying.
He's not going back to Cali.
Can't go back to college. You can never go home again. And, of course, we want to send a shout-out to our men and women in uniform watching on NNPSTV.com all around the world. Thank you for doing what you do, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, and the Coast Guard. We appreciate your service. And Tristan, my man, this is getting close to clutch time, getting close to crunch time here, man. What are you thinking right now about these teams?
I'm thinking that Warwick, honestly, their crowd is what's keeping them in this game. Loud, rambunctious. This is home turf. They're definitely keeping a presence here.
Yeah, the crowd definitely can be an influence on how you play.
47-43. 1 minute left in the third quarter. Menchville up by 4. Should be an interesting fourth quarter coming up. Menchville going in the four corners what Dean Smith used to do with Phil Ford and Tommy Lagarde and Mitch Kupchak, Walter Davis. So many great players that Dean Smith had at Carolina. It's exactly what Menchville's doing right now. Rich Yoniker, all part of those great Carolina teams. This is exactly what it was. And they're getting inside to Elijah. He turns it over. Not what Ben Moore wanted. Warwick does not connect with 21 seconds left till third quarter ends. Fast game here tonight.
A lot of exciting action, capacity crowd, very physical, very fast. This game has been flying by. You can't beat it. This game is like Marshawn Lynch. It's all about that action, boss. That's probably my favorite Marshawn Lynch quote ever. It's all about that action, boss.
Marshawn Lynch is in charge of the scoreboard tonight, the shot clock. He's keeping an eye on how much time is left.
I think the scoreboard operator is just here so he won't get fined.
Yeah. Hey, you got nothing to say, don't say nothing at all, right?
No, I'm thankful.
Yeah.
I'm thankful.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Nate, what do you think about the Super Bowl?
Oh, man.
It'd be like a Marshawn Lynch.
It was a great game, but I would have given it to Marshawn Lynch on the 1 yard line for the championship. You got to give it to Beast Mode.
He's so tough to tackle.
Yeah. Just a physical
Reminds me
presence.
a lot of a great fullback and a running back combined.
And if you get stopped on third down, then okay, you're playing 4-down territory.
I mean, I think Wilson would have gotten it in too.
Yep. Yeah, that's another thing. You don't have to throw it. You can do a play action, roll Russell Wilson out.
All right, here we go. Raiders. Final 16 seconds. Don't need to be sloppy, but they make it.
Oh.
Number 11, Dominique Carter. DC.
President Carter.
Tied up. No basket. 47 all. That is it. Deadlock here after 3 quarters. We're at Warwick High School at Newport News. High school basketball presented by Fazoli's will continue after these messages.
The Telecommunications Center is an award-winning television production facility for high school students in the Newport News Public Schools. Students can learn studio, remote production, audio operation, editing, directing, and much more. Students can also earn college credit through dual enrollment. The center has graduates working for MTV, ESPN, CNN, Entertainment Tonight, and Tyler Perry Studios. If you want to jumpstart your career in broadcasting, contact your guidance counselor or call 591-4687.
All right, back here to beautiful Warwick High School at Newport News, oldest school at Newport News. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, Tristan Rines, and the entire crowd with us. Glad you're with us on TV, online, wherever you might be, on NNPSTV.com. Jumper is up. It's good. By Ray Rawls, singing the melody in the fourth quarter.
I'm telling you, Rawls with 18 on the game now, and this is what it's all about, folks. Fourth quarter, this is a rivalry. You talk about Ali Frazier, Magic Bird, Manning Brady, Tupac and Biggie. We got the rivalry here tonight, folks.
There he is, the one and only, the Lake, Daquan Lake. He's not going fishing tonight. He's catching the fish.
Wow.
Raiders trying to go on the glass. Getting swatted away. Cameron's getting all the great shots. We'll get to the crew list here a little bit later, as well as Nate's report card. Crowd definitely gets an A tonight.
I'm telling you, the crowd gets an A+ all the way.
They might be the most valuable player. Warwick in the white, Menchville in the purple. Heavyweight coaches here, and Ben Moore and Willie Bell. Officials Mike Powers, Mark Fry, Kelby Saunders. Both teams need to relax, get focused, and realize there's 6:48 left in the game.
Yeah, that was a great defensive stand by the Monarchs, highlighted by that big block in the middle of that sequence by Lake. Great job, Lake, a two-way player, offense and defense. And you see a great job coaching by the Warwick Raiders. And you know what? He kind of reminds me of Shaka Smart from VCU. Young coach trying to implement this program to these.
There's no havoc, though, out here tonight. The crowd's the havoc. And Richmond beat VCU recently, too, in the Battle of Richmond.
And that's what it's all about when you get rivalries. Richmond, VCU, when you get Warwick and Menchville, anything can happen.
The Lake continues. The guy I told you to keep an eye on. What a great kid. Daquan Lake. Reminds me of a classic Pop Pitts player for Menchville.
Another block.
And the follow-up
by
is
Lake.
good by number 24, Taj Eason. Of course, Kat Barber, who played in the Hampton schools, now playing for NC State.
And you talk about just the great coaches that come from this area. A lot of great players as well. You talk about names like Allen Iverson, names like Tony Rutland, David Macklin.
Kat Barber.
Exactly. Back in
Lionel
the day.
Miller played
Elton
for
Brown.
Tennessee. Anthony Solomon, Elton Brown. David Pope went to Norfolk State. David Hagan. Dallas Corey. So many great players with Ferguson, like Chris Warren. Lake gets a nice follow-up by number 15 for Menchville. Shamor Gatling in the leadership of Menchville.
Telling you,
Deadlock
Gatling
at
doing a
53
great
here,
job on
folks.
that putback right there. Excellent job by the Monarchs.
What a great game we picked on the schedule tonight, folks. Great girls and boys basketball. This might be our best event of the school year tonight.
No question, no doubt about it. There you see the man of the hour, Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour. Menchville head coach Ben Moore, who's been
Eliminate the negative obstacles, he's saying.
Yes, he is.
He's
he's
preaching
an
out there
inspirational figure out there. We've called him the Reverend on this station from time to time, and it's just great to see Coach Moore back on the sidelines here in the high school.
Even if it's in the Warwick gym as a visitor. The give and go, no. Lake. Ball handling is important, and it's good. Great jumper by number 2 for Menchville. Kenneth Turner.
Turner doing it big with a clutch shot right there, and the Monarchs starting to gain some momentum now.
56-53 Menchville, up by 3. I want to thank again Fazoli's, Scotty Loving, and all the great people. Jenny Nuttycombe. Menchville in the purple with the ball. Turner, Lake connects. Lake brings it home. Puts in a river, an ocean, and a stream into Warwick. A body of water, the Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean. No match on the lake.
Here you go. There you see it right there. Lake, 18 points on the game. Greg, I know Thanksgiving was a few months back, but Lake just brought the stuffing right there. And I'm not talking about stovetop people. Great job by Lake.
No alligator in Lake Placid.
No alligators in that lake. Unbelievable play right there.
Let's get to our crew list. The executive producer is former Menchville graduate Michelle Price, carrying on the tradition of the Monarchs, doing a really great job. Coordinating producer, been with Telecom since 1992, the one and only Ray Price. Producer of Sports Highlights, Fusion Fitness, and all the great sporting events here, following the footsteps of Paul Cummings. Great 1-2 punch in Paul Cummings and Ray Price over the years. And, of course, Bill Barlow, our director since 1993, who worked in civil service for years at Fort Eustis. Had a wonderful secretary, too. I can't remember her name. I would call her and she'd always say, "Passee, can I help you?" And then I would talk to Bill. But anyway, Carl Daniels, CD. Worked it. Carl Daniels working at commercial TV for several years. And, of course, all the great students as well, Nate Milton.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we had DeAndre Foskey, Regina Parker-Watkins, Dimitri Waddell, Josh Stout, Janae Hopkins, Chris Becerra, Dakota Rust, Brandon Marrero, Jada Brinkley, Jaleel Burrell, Stephanie Belito, and, of course, joining us here on the sideline, my man, Tristan Rhines. Great job by our student crew bringing you the game of the year, folks.
Miss Wyatt, great secretary there for years.
You know, the secretary is always the most popular person in the office because whenever it's payday especially.
Yeah. Melita. Telecom, that's it.
I remember Miss Jones. That was my favorite part of coming to work. Just saying, hey, Miss Jones, how you doing? And then she'd have a check, and I would go happy along my day.
One of the most classiest ladies I've ever met.
Absolutely.
Jones. Absolutely, she deserves a plug. 3:30 left, 58-53. Menchville holding the composure and tempo on the road. Never easy to win on the road in the high school, college, or NBA level. Also want to give a shout out to the late, great Maceo Clark, who was a big fan of Ben Moore when he was at Warwick. His kids played for Ferguson. David Clark did. And he played for Menchville, actually. Backcourt, can't do it. And Warwick's starting to unravel a little bit.
Yeah, they can't afford these mental errors right there. That was just a bad call right there. I mean, a bad placement right there by Warwick. You got to be aware of where the timeline is. And, Menchville right now, they've gone back to what worked in the first half. Pressure defense and pounding the rock inside with Lake, and they've done a great job to take this lead back.
58-53, Menchville in control here. But as we've seen, anything can happen here on the hardwood here at Warwick High School. And they're gearing up for the postseason. Both teams trying to get to the postseason.
Yeah, both teams trying to get to the postseason. Menchville in a better position right now than Warwick. And there you see Coach Ben Moore, who's got to be pleased with the effort Menchville's shown tonight.
Battle of 11-6 and 8-10 teams here tonight. Combined for 19 wins and 16 losses. The two teams together. You get the holiday tournaments, preseason, regular season, postseason. Basketball is always intense.
Always intense, especially here in the 757 and particularly here in Newport News. Call goes against the Monarchs, blocking foul.
Fans really getting into the game.
They are excited.
Where's my school at, Nate?
Your school's across the street, Greg.
Yeah.
We can go catch a play a little bit later. Maybe a concert.
They try and turn that box up. 3:02 left. 58-53. There you see for Warwick, number 11, Dominique Carter at the free throw line. He misses. And Lake gets it. Who else? Lake, and more Lake. Nate will give us a report card. Go ahead, Nate. First for Menchville.
For Menchville, I'm going to give them a B on defense. They've done a good job getting in the passing lanes, disrupting what Warwick has tried to do offensively. And for offense, I'm going to give them a B as well. I think they got a little shaky there in the second and third quarters, but in the first and the fourth, they did what worked. You go at Lake, you work hard, and then you open up the outside shots by working inside. So overall, I'm going to give Menchville a B tonight.
And for the Raiders.
And for the Raiders, this might surprise you, Greg. I'm also going with a B on defense because I think they've done a good job in the second and third quarters to make adjustments on Lake. Offensively, they've done a good job creating good shots, passing the ball around. I'm going to give them a B as well. And so I'm going to give them overall a B grade, Greg. That's how close this game was. Both teams came out and played hard, and this thing is not over yet.
No, 2:45 left. Lake misses. That ball goes into the ocean. Here come the Raiders. Packed house here at Warwick High School at Newport News. 59-53 Menchville with 2:30 left in this game. Glad you're joining us right here. Warwick still holding on to it in the white uniforms. And they make it. Great effort by Taj Eason, number 24, for Willie Bell's Raiders. Good steal by the Raiders. Jumper, good.
Wow.
Ray rolls. Sing it, Lou, sing it.
I am telling you, you'll never find a jump shot like mine. Eason from his knees hitting the jumper.
Wow, this might be our most exciting game since the state championship 15 years ago.
This is the main event right here.
This is it. Bill Barlow's finally getting his wish for a great game. Or as my dad Jim would say, atmosphere, baby.
I'm telling you what. 20 points in the game
left.
for Rawls.
This might be number 2, Nate, in the last 15
After
years.
the state championship, it's making its case.
It is. Lake makes it. The lake, the river, the ocean, not big enough for Daquan Lake. He's manhandling Warwick. 61-58 with 76 seconds left.
And this has turned into quite a contest. Lake and Rawls both leading their teams in respective ways. Let's take a look at the replay. There you go. You're working inside to the big fella. Don't leave him alone because you know what he's going to do, Tristan. It's like the monster movie. You know what you're going to do when you're walking down that dark alley. Don't go down the dark alley, Tristan, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to get dunked on, man.
Greatly put, Nate. Look, this game is 3 points away from being over. Warwick has a chance. They need to get a score here.
Good free throw. And of course, folks, you are watching this exciting game. We are in our 24th year of exclusive prep sports on NNPS TV and NNPSTV.com. And don't forget to check out sports highlights on NNPSTV.com.
Eason at the line for Warwick. Connects again. 1 point game. What a classic showcase presented by Fazoli's.com. Menchville, Barber, out of bounds with 70 seconds left. 11-6 Menchville, 8-10 Warwick, battling here to the wire.
The last time these two teams met, it came down to the wire, and we're going to get a photo finish again. Warwick won that game at the end. We'll see if Menchville can return the favor, Greg.
Both teams playing very well here in the fourth quarter.
This game is intense. Crowds yelling, screaming. This game is close. 1 point separates the winner.
And I'm telling you, folks, it takes a lot for my man Tristan to get excited. He's Joe Cool. He's never nervous, Purvis, but he's excited here on this court because you can feel the atmosphere. You're right, Greg. This is one of the best games we've had the pleasure to call.
Really, football or basketball. Really excited.
I agree.
It's great to see. There's more people here than some of the football games we've done.
And we talked about it last time when we did the Heritage game. This is what it's all about, the rivalries. It's about, the girls go first and the guys play. It's that tradition.
It is.
And that's part of why it's so exciting.
JV doesn't work before the varsity.
No.
The crowds will not support it. They want to see the Title IX. The girls first, the boys second.
Absolutely. You want to see the varsity and the varsity. You want to see the best and the best.
That's it.
No disrespect to the JV, but, it's not your time right now.
And wait till you see what Kevin Martingale says in Sports Highlights on Mondays at 7, 2, and 7. He really goes after the VHSL. The travel is perfect in the city, Menchville and Warwick. You're not meant to travel 100 miles away to go to a game. Round trip. 61-60, Menchville up with 70 seconds left. We're at Warwick High School in Newport News. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, Tristan Rhines, our entire telecom crew, led by Ray Price and company. Here comes number 1, Daryl Barber, in the purple uniforms. Menchville up by 1. You're gonna watch the ball handling. Ben Moore says, don't throw crazy passes.
Not a smart pass right there. Both benches up saying, hey, they knocked it out.
They need a video board for instant replay. We got it here. We've got the instant replay.
AC Coach Moore, he didn't like that pass at all. Not a smart pass.
Across the timeline. That's why you need a great point guard. 52 seconds left. Menchville's getting nervous.
They're getting nervous. The great job pressuring the defense by Warwick, Tristan.
Dude, Nate, these crowds are intense. You can hear screaming back and forth. Menchville behind us, Warwick in front of us, back and forth. This game is still close.
The momentum,
don't get scared now.
Really getting fired up here tonight.
You know, this is what you practice for, Greg. We talk all the time about how much these kids practice day in and day out. This is why you practice for moments like this.
61-60. Menchville up by 1 point. 52 seconds left in this ball game. We're at Warwick High School in Newport News. Great rivalries over the years. As Willie Bell is getting the crowd in the game. A lot of students on hand tonight. No turning down for what tonight? Menchville with the ball, going left to right. Darryl Barber, full court pressure defense. 47 seconds.
Wow.
Nate, what are the keys here for both teams? Need to keep their composure.
The number one key is keep your composure. Number two, keep the ball. Don't turn the ball over. Number three, find good shots.
Don't get sloppy here. The season doesn't, ride tonight, but it's a lot of bragging rights.
It is a lot of bragging rights, and especially if you're Warwick, you're under 500, you want to climb back up in there, and you want to defeat that man. You want to defeat your former coach, your former legend, Ben Moore, on his homecoming. You want to spoil the party.
No superheroes out here tonight.
Put that cape back, put it away.
Got to play your game. Menchville trying to get the ball in bounds. They do. Barber being pressured all over the place. Warwick steals it. The big steal. It's good.
Wow.
Devontae Kirk.
Captain Kirk, beam me up. Great steal. The steal and the score. Can Menchville respond?
Lake.
Of course they can.
Who else? The lake, the river, the ocean.
It all comes down to this. 19 seconds. Can Warwick pull it away?
Greg, do you realize how unprecedented this is? We're watching a lake that's on fire. A lake that's on fire, guys.
The fire department can't put out the lake tonight. 19 seconds. 63-62. Nate, I've been telling you, this is one of our top games ever in our 24-year history.
Photo finish.
That goes back with Curry playing in Hampton. When they played Menchville back in the late 90s, we did at Menchville. Or when Revis Conrad coached at Kickotan against Menchville. Or some of George Walter's teams at Ferguson we did. This is a classic game tonight. Fans are getting their money's worth tonight, and the ones that are home are even getting their money's worth. This is a high-definition game tonight.
This is what it's all about. You got Lake leading his team with 20.
Bring out the prime rib.
Rawls leading his team with 20. Hey, they can have whatever they want the way they're playing. Get them some Fazoli's because they've earned it.
That's it. Those breadsticks are good. I'll take a steak and salad myself. 63-62, our showcase game, presented by Fazoli's and the great people over there on Jefferson Avenue. 19 seconds left. Willie Bell shouting out some instructions. What a crowd atmosphere tonight. Everybody's got their camera phones. Everybody's a cameraman, Mr. Price. Everybody's a cameraman tonight. Ray Rawls. The give and go. Makes it.
Wow.
Ray Rawls with the biggest shot of the night.
Wow.
And Eason is hurt, folks. Number 24, Eason is hurt.
I do not believe this. 4 seconds left. Warwick just scored. This could be it. Don't count out Menchville yet.
Nate, this has to be one of our top basketball games ever.
This is by far one of the best basketball games we've ever done.
We're not used to seeing this in Newport News.
No. And this is why we always talk about that tradition. You hear the Warwick fans saying, this is our house. Menchville wants to be the bad house guest. They've got a little over 6 seconds.
You got the football coach of Warwick doing the public address announcing. He gave us a shout out, of course.
Yeah, big up. And you can tell that really sets the atmosphere for our Warwick.
6 seconds left. That's appropriate. 6 seconds.
I tell you what, he's gonna need a steak tonight. As much as he's been hyping this crowd up, he might be the sixth man tonight.
That's it. 64-63. You picked a good game to come at tonight.
Oh, definitely. It's a great first game for myself.
This is why you signed up at Telecom tonight.
Oh, definitely. You cannot miss out on games like this.
Tristan said he's going to retire after this. He's going to throw down the mic because it can't get any better than it is tonight.
Tristan says he's charging for autographs tomorrow. (64-63). 6 seconds left here in the ball game tonight. Menchville and Warwick going back and forth. Don't forget Sports Scene on 1650 AM each Wednesday from noon to 1. And on TuneIn.com, type in WHKT to listen in your search box on your phone or your computer.
I think if you're
Sports highlights on NNPSTV.com. Tell your friends about NNPSTV.com. Sports
don't just tell your friends, Greg, tell your enemies. This is
tell your enemies too. Nate and I've got enough of those. Tell your friends about NNPSTV.com. We love our enemies too, folks. The rapper says we love the haters too. Huh?
Hey, haters follow us too. Thank you for watching, haters.
On Twitter. They just want to be like us.
I tell you what, you guys, you don't see a game like this every day.
You've never seen an atmosphere like this before ever, have you?
Here we go.
This can rival some college atmospheres here tonight. Kind of like the Duke atmosphere.
Yeah, this is a big-time game. Will big-time players step up in a big-time moment?
And of course, we bring the presence of the TV and the cameras here. The lights, the camera, the action are brightly shining on Warwick High School tonight. Here it is, 64-63. Warwick up by 1 with 6 seconds left. Willie Bell calls a timeout again. The former VMI player played for Woodside. Willie Bell right there. Former Wolverine. Former VMI cadet where he gets the military discipline.
Little gamesmanship right here. Willie Bell just trying to see what formation Menchville comes out in, and he's going to call a timeout to get that defense ready. And, of course, folks, you are watching Prep Basketball on Cox Cable Channel 47 and Newport News, Verizon Fios 17, and, of course, NNPSTV.com.
So everything you learn in practice, it all comes down to these 6 seconds now.
This is why you practice.
You want to get a good shot off. You don't need to rush it, Nate.
There you see Coach Moore coaching up his guys. This is why you run those sprints. This is why you do all that hard work in the gym.
And Warwick's been in, kind of on the defensive mode the entire game. Warwick has been on the defensive. Menchville's been proactive in the lead. But guess what? Warwick's got the lead with 6 seconds left, a 64-63 lead.
And Menchville's got to bring the ball up quick. I think they got to see if they can get it in the lake. That's their best option. But if not, they've got to work for a nice shot from the outside.
Maybe Barber on the outside. Maybe get a follow through by Lake, a dunk. Can you imagine that?
Lake can put it back from anywhere.
This crowd might storm the court if Warwick wins. Watch out, folks.
Watch yourself, Tristan.
Mr. Price, tell the camera people this court could be stormed. That type of intensity here tonight. Almost like a Sweet Pea Whitaker boxing match out here. On HBO almost. Anyway, 64-63. Menchville. 4 seconds left. Whew. That's almost pretty good. Get it at half court. Another stoppage of play. Game, for the most part, has gone by pretty quick. All right, Nate Milton, you're the coach. What do you do?
If I'm the coach, like we said, your first option, you want to work it into the big man. If they deny him, you pass it around. You got Barber that can hit an outside jumper. You got Gatling that can go from mid-range, see if they can put it up. And if they miss it, at least you'll have Lake down low to see if he can get that rebound and put it back.
I would just throw it into Lake and let him do it. You only got 4 seconds left. You might get one dribble, and that's it.
Lake with 20 points, Rawls with 20 points. Those have been the stars for their respective teams. Great job tonight by both coaches and both teams. And this is going to be a finish for the ages, folks.
Great showcase. Audience on TV tonight, online, NNPSTV.com. Our 24th year of Prep Sports. Over a dozen sports have been showcased over the years since 1991. This fall will be our 25th year of high school football. Tell your friends. Again, condolences to the late, great Gary Seeley, former Menchville teacher who passed away. What a real gentleman he was. Had him on Sports Highlights. Followed a lot of our careers. Listen to us. Listen to our broadcasts, folks. in the Philippines. He listened to Nate and I doing football games in the Philippines. Our broadcast is heard all over the world. It's made an impact to a lot of people. He would listen to us in the Philippines. Gary, we're going to miss you, my friend. But we know somehow you're listening right now. 64-63. 4 seconds left. He was very proud of his kids, too.
Yeah, and much like the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, the Monarchs have their own destiny in their hand. Can they seal the deal? Will they make the right call? Or will the Raiders step up and make a play like we saw the Patriots do and close it out?
The Raiders like the Oakland Raiders. Jack Del Rio, Ben Moore, using all his years of Warwick and Virginia Wesleyan out here tonight.
This is a great coaching matchup, too. You got the old Jedi Master and Coach Moore, and then the young Padawan trying to make a name for himself on the Warwick side with Coach Bell.
And Nate and I are Yoda saying, be careful, Anakin. You might not be afraid, Willie Bill, but you will be.
Exactly. Do or do not do. There is no try. You got to make a play in this situation.
Ben Moore knows he's on TV, folks. He knows he's on TV.
This, quite honestly, has been the longest 10 seconds ever.
Here we go.
Like a heavyweight boxing match tonight. Prime time. Forget the college games, the NBA. Watch us tonight.
I'm telling you, this is the game of the night. I don't care, college, professional, WNBA,
WNBA, pickup basketball.
Pickup basketball. The
Nerf
Puppet
basketball.
Bowl could be on. This is the best game anywhere tonight.
Shout out to your nieces and Maya and Maria as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Lisa, Brianna, Maya, love you guys. Hope you're enjoying this game.
You too, Maria. Yes, you too.
It certainly
You're
is a privilege to actually announce this game with you two fellows right here. That's why you got to join Telecom.
Yes. These type of games put nnpstv.com on the map, folks. Still, a little drama going on here, almost like People's Court out here tonight.
I'm telling you, like if this doesn't get you excited for high school basketball, I don't know what will, because you don't have a pulse.
No, we are not used to seeing. This reminds me of the Hampton-Menchville game when Curry played in the late 90s that we did. Still the best, him and Iverson, the two best players ever in the history of Hampton sports. Iverson, of course, went to Bethel, didn't even play his senior year.
Yeah.
He still wants that senior year back.
And Iverson,
I still think he could have played 1 or 2 more years in the NBA if he would have become a role player off the bench. He didn't want to do that.
Yeah, he didn't want to. And that's, Iverson, always one of my favorite players, but he's just a different guy. You can't question the talent.
Hard to believe he'll be 40 years old this year.
Yeah, hard to believe.
He still could play, in my opinion. Anyways, 5 seconds left. It's going to come down to this. It's all about this. 64-63 Warwick. Menchville with the ball. Barber. No.
Oh, my goodness.
And Warwick wins.
Wow.
I said they're going to storm the court. They're trying. 64-63. Warwick wins it in dramatic fashion in front of the home crowd of Newport News. 64-63. Warwick brings down the house. Warwick beats Menchville on TV, online, and at Warwick High School by 1 point. 64-63. Nate, Menchville controlled the game. Warwick got the seal and the deal. They closed it out.
What a finish. Both teams going back and forth, trading blows like a heavyweight fight. Lake for the Monarchs had 20. Rawls for the Raiders had 20. You had contributions from Eason for the Raiders. You had contributions from Gatling and of course, Murphy for the Monarchs. But at the end of the day, both teams played hard, but you got to make shots in crucial situations. And Warwick does a great job spoiling Coach Ben Moore's homecoming. The legend came home, greatest head coach in Warwick history, but he can't get it done tonight. You see the joy, though. It's a great moment, great team. Both teams played hard. One of the best games we've had the privilege to call, my friend.
Absolutely. It was a really classic basketball game tonight. As we see it right here, Warwick beating Menchville 64-63 at the home court of Warwick. Warwick kept their composure and really played for 32 minutes, did not give up when they easily could have given up.
Wow, what a finish. What a finish. There you see the respect right there. The legend and the young guy, the legend in training, perhaps. Coach Moore showing respect to the Warwick coach. And there you see 64-63. That final play was a well-designed play by the Monarchs. They had the shot they wanted. They just couldn't get it to go in. And Lake, unfortunately, was not in position. Warwick did a great job of boxing them out. Excellent job by the Raiders. Great quality win.
I'll take a short break. We'll be back after these messages. Warwick is victorious.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a scientist. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer.
Our younger students have the right idea. Today's leading careers are involved in science, technology, engineering, and math. Newport News Public Schools has embarked on an aggressive STEM education initiative that prepares students to take full advantage of STEM opportunities in higher education and career fields. So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Warwick wins it in dramatic fashion, 64-63 over their arch rival Menchville. And the return of Ben Moore to Warwick did not work out for the Monarchs tonight. They played very good for 32 minutes. In the end, though, Nate, it was all about Warwick.
What a great game we saw. Folks at home, I hope you're taking your blood pressure medicine, you're checking your heartbeat right now, because it was a great game, a great finish. And this is what classics are all about. This is what we talk about when we talk about rivalries, crucial conflicts, if you will. Coach Moore, big stage for Warwick. They announced their presence tonight.
All right, take a look at some highlights, folks.
And
Lake, Nate, he was a big story. He disappeared for a while, but he came back in the fourth quarter. He disappeared,
but he came back. And then you see outside, great job by Rawls. He was the story of the night. Then you see a big block by Lake. But Rawls, Rawls matched him shot for shot. Rawls from the outside, Lake from the inside. And again, I'm going to do it one more time because he deserves it.
Easton, my man, the big block.
Ray Rawls.
Another swap by Lake.
Interior defense.
Another swap by Lake.
Lake is a game changer. He reminds me a little bit of Hassan Whiteside, who plays for the Miami Heat now. He can change the game when he's on. And you see both teams fighting hard. Lake with a monster jam.
Classic dunk. Looking like Kareem out there. Great give and go there by Devontae Kirk for
They answered right back. Captain Kirk with a couple big buckets later on.
Lake came up big, but not enough in the end. That was the play of the game right there.
It was.
Ray Rawls in great fashion, and Rawls and company kept their composure for 32 minutes. They did not give up. Just when you're down, you can't give up because it's a 32-minute game.
This was an amazing game. This shows you about tenacity. This shows you about, not giving up. And again, I'm going to say it one more time. Ray Rawls, player of the game, and you'll never find a jump shot like that, folks. Ray Rawls doing a great job. And again, you got to give credit, though, to the Menchville Monarchs. Playing in this tough environment on the road, great effort, but unfortunately at the end of the day, there could only be one winner.
I know you enjoyed this game tonight.
Oh, definitely a great game. I'm so glad that I decided to come out here for the first game of the season. I'm really looking forward to some more.
All right, guys, we enjoyed it, too, as well, right here on TV, bringing you a classic game in which Warwick beat Menchville 64-63 right here at home sweet home for 32 minutes. I want to thank all the great crew, Fazoli's, and all the great students and staff behind the scenes for doing a magnificent job tonight under difficult circumstances, but they came up with shining true colors. Of course, I want to thank Ray Price and, of course, Tristan Rhines, our great students and staff, Nate Milton. I'm Greg Bicaveras. Once again, the final score, it was Warwick 64, Menchville 63. We'll talk to you soon.